Hi, I'm Brandi. In this technique video, we're going to learn faux metal embossing. One of my favorite techniques is heat embossing. And as a quick reminder, here's how you do that. Stamp any image using your Versamark ink pad. And then just sprinkle any embossing powder on top. I'm using copper. Then you heat it with your heat tool until it's shiny. And in the end, you've got this shiny raised leaf. This is all ready to be cut out and added to any project. So here's the project I did. And there's that leaf, but look at the background. This is the faux metal technique. With this technique, you'll layer up a pool of heated powder and then stamp into it. I'm starting with shimmer white cardstock because it's nice and sturdy. The first thing I'll do is ink up the impression stamp with Versamark, and I'll just set that aside so it's ready to use later. Now that will help it from sticking into the pool of hot embossing powder. So next we're just going to build up a layer of embossing powder on this piece of cardstock. So I'll take my Versamark directly on there, and I've just inked around in the center. And then here's my copper powder again. Now I'll just go ahead and heat this up. Now that I have that all heated up with the copper powder melted, there are a couple of different ways you can layer up your powder. One way is just to take your Versamark again and go right over the top of that again and pour the powder again. If you do that, you don't have to worry about working quickly while the powder is still hot. Now my favorite way is to keep a pool of powder right here on my paper. And this time, after I get this all heated up, I'll turn it quickly and press it right back down into the powder to pick up some more. Now that's still hot. I'll just press it right in there. And now you can see I've picked up quite a bit, and it's not necessarily even, which is fine. Once you get to this point and you have a lot of powder on top, you can heat from the bottom. The key at the end is to just lay that embossed layer down here on your table and have your stamp ready, and then just press right into that embossing. Now you're going to want to set this aside for a few moments to cool while you clean up your area. So when the stamp has cooled, you just lift it right off, and there is your faux metal impression. Here's that finished card one more time. And see how there's kind of a rough edge around this? You can also cut out your embossed area with a framelit. Here's an example of that. See how there's a completely finished edge around here and it just looks like a metal embellishment? Let's check out how to do that. On this cardstock, this is just Bermuda Bay cardstock, and I made a bigger pool of gold embossing powder. And for my impression stamp, I used this piece from the Hello Friend stamp set. I pressed it in right here, and then I reheated the powder on this side and pressed it in there and lifted it out as well. So now I've got kind of this eclectic, messy look, and I can grab my framelit and just run that through the Big Shot to cut this piece out. Here's how it looks when I get it all cut out with my framelit, and I'm just going to use a Stampin' Sponge with a little bit of my archival black to burnish this up a little bit and give it a nice antiqued look. And there's that finished project again. There's the embossed hello with regular basic embossing, and then that background embellishment piece. Here are both of our samples again. I hope next time you're in the mood for a fancy technique, you'll try faux metal embossing. You can order all the supplies I've used here through your demonstrator or at stampinup.com. Thanks for watching, and happy stampin'!